Hello everybody, welcome back to Matteo's Corner. You know, it's funny, when I was originally going to talk about this movie, I was actually thinking it was going to be a really good movie. Now that I've really nitpicked it, and I've looked at it, and just overall, I actually watched this movie, and I said last review that I wasn't going to watch this movie. I actually was going to make this review on top of The Lord Slug and The Return and The Cooler's Revenge. I was going to have 3 reviews out in one day. But I had to rewatch the movie because I didn't really remember a lot of it. And I was like, well, maybe I need to watch it again just, because I should. And yeah. It's... No! This movie is not good. I mean, it's enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. Movie 6, The Return of Cooler, also known as the Meta Cooler movie, or Metal Cooler, however you want to call him, is an enjoyable movie. But when you look at it from a certain angle and when you really observe and you critique it, it doesn't make any sense. It really, really just doesn't make sense. First of all, yes, the movie's called Return of Cooler. And as you can tell, Cooler is the villain. I forgot to mention in the movie, he actually doesn't die from the spirit bomb like a lot of the other villains. He died from a Kamehameha through his own supernova move that sent him into the sun and it disintegrated him. How does he survive that? Well, the movie explains it later on. You find out that Cooler... pieces of him were still alive, and he bonded with this thing called the Big Getty Star, and it turned him, I don't really know how to describe it. I don't even think the movie goes into it. I honestly can't remember. I know I just watched it, but I can't remember it because I literally just did not care at all about what was going on. I mean, I could end the review right now, but I know you guys are probably wondering, my honest opinion of, why I think this, so I'm going to get into that too. So first off, having Cooler come back, I'm okay with that. Having him be a robotic thing, interesting, but okay. I can get down with that. Oh, he becomes smarter every single time you defeat him. He's like Doomsday. You beat him one way, the next time you can't beat him that same way. I thought that was actually really clever. But then it's the rest of the movie that kind of doesn't make sense to me. First of all, they base it on New Namek, which is basically Namek. So again, just like the Frieza saga, even Team 4-Star had a joke of that. Frieza did it. And Cooler's like, what? And he goes, yeah, Frieza did it. He goes, no, it's New Namek. This is entirely different. And he goes, no, it's still the same. It's still the same Namek. And that's what confused me a lot when I watched this movie. I was like, why would you make a movie? I mean, why couldn't you just send him to Namek in general? But then you would have realized, oh, it's just like Frieza yet again. Just like how Slug was just like Demon King Piccolo. Now we've got Cooler being exactly like Frieza. I don't know. I really like... Again, I enjoy the movie, but it's just... There's all these little inconsistencies, and there's, I think, there's a plot hole that they never address. They never address this plot hole, and it's... How did Vegeta get there? Because Vegeta is in the movie. This is the first Dragon Ball Z movie with Vegeta in it. And again, how did he get there? Even Goku's like, how'd you get here? And I don't think they ever talk about it. I like how they had Master Roshi and Yajirobe and Oolong, but Oolong's really there just for comic relief. Yajirobe can't actually fight. He's done it in the original Dragon Ball, and then in Dragon Ball Z, he cut off Vegeta's tail. Doesn't do anything in this movie. Master Roshi also doesn't do anything in this movie. And it's just like, why were they there? Were they there just for comic relief? And then you have this whole part where Yajirobe is going to be the first sacrificed to become food for the Big Getty Star. And there's this little robot that's kind of like Claptrap, but he's not. I don't really know how to describe the robot. That's the best analogy I can make. Even Team 4-Star made that joke. And it's funny, I reference Team 4-Star a lot, but it's because they see these things and they want to make jokes about it. Hell, I make jokes about it. Oh my god, this movie. I don't even know what to say about this movie anymore. Like, this is probably going to be the shortest review because, yeah, it literally makes no sense. It literally doesn't. Metacooler was a really cool idea. I honestly love his idea, and his design is weird. It's a little bland, but it's like, he's a robotic version of Cooler. That makes sense. It's fine. But there's so many plot holes, and there's so many other little things about this movie that I cannot ignore. I can't ignore it. Honestly, I still enjoy the movie, but then I think about all the plot hole things and all these other issues the movie has, and it went from being one of my favorite movies that I can actually enjoy, kind of down towards where Tree of Might and Lord Slug is. So now, there's 3 on each side. There's 3 movies I would actually, watch more than once, and then there's the Metacooler movie is above Tree of Might, but that still doesn't really say anything. Yeah, I love the Cooler movie, the first one, but Metacooler, it's okay. It's alright. I wouldn't say that I don't recommend it. You don't have to watch this one. Like Lord Slug, you don't really need to watch this movie, but it is more enjoyable. Lord Slug wasn't... You know what? No, Lord Slug and Metacooler are kind of in the same boat. Because Turles at least is a unique villain, but Slug and Metacooler, they took elements from the other ones. I mean, the first Cooler movie did too, don't get me wrong. The first Cooler movie took stuff from the Frieza saga, but they made changes enough to where it was like, okay, it's its own thing. He's a brother of Frieza. Of course, they might have a supernova move together. That might be a family thing that they do. Okay, he has an armored squadron. Well, Frieza had one, so, excuse me, of course his brother has one too. King Cold probably had an well, actually, the Ginyu Force was for King Cold and Frieza. So I guess that makes sense. If you're gonna watch it, go ahead. I don't blame you, though, if you don't want to watch it. I don't blame you if you think the movie's bad. Because, again, like I said, I enjoy the movie, but I recognize that there are things wrong with it. And I think the Metacooler movie is a guilty pleasure. You know what? That's what I'm going to rate this movie. It's a guilty pleasure movie. It's not good, but there's things about it that you like, and you watch it, and you're like, yeah, this is a decent movie. It's alright. That's the best analogy I can make of this movie. It's a guilty pleasure. Thank you guys so much for watching my review of The Return to Cooler, aka Metacooler. We are literally now pretty much halfway through the Dragon Ball Z movie franchise. We're at the halfway point, everybody. The rest of it should be really fun from here, right? Right? Anyways, with that being said, thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time.